Chapter 1, Teaching in a Changing World. Teaching is a profession that generally attracts the best and brightest college students into the ranks. Today's new teachers must meet rigorous national and state standards that did not exist long ago. Grade point averages of 3.0 or higher are common requirements for admission. Tests and other assessments must be passed before admission at the completion of a program and for state licenses. Teacher candidates today are diverse in age and work. Some are traditional college students from 18 to 20, and some are non-traditional college students that are starting new careers and might be in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. Society has a great expectation for teachers, guiding students' academic achievements, and has the responsibility for students' social and physical development. They are expected to prepare an educated citizenry that is informed about many issues critical to maintaining a democracy and improving the world. They are to help students learn to work together, and they try to instill the values that are critical to a just and caring society. Most people believe that teachers play a very important critical role in our society, which is encouraging because you will be entering a highly regarded and trusted professional group, but also frightening because you will be responsible for helping to uphold this public trust. On a side note, every teacher is a mandatory reporter, so if you see incidents or pictures, you have to report it either to your building principal or to the proper authorities. When you're at school, in loco parentis, it means you're in place of the parents, so you're in charge of the students. Teachers and parents agree that the quality of teaching staff is of primary importance in selecting a school for their children. Parents and guardians and families generally know who the effective teachers are in a school and put their students in those classes. They also know the teachers that are not effective and have their children stay out of those classes. In the 46th annual poll asked parents to assign a letter grade to public schools. About half of them assigned an A or a B. 12 assigned A, 38% assigned a B, which is interesting. The same people assigned a considerably higher grade to the schools of their own children that they attended. Why do you think this? Unfortunately, the new media often tends to report education in a negative light. For instance, often reporting the more sensational things such as lawsuits, crimes, drugs, bullying, and shootings. And maybe on the other hand, parents might tend to see the good firsthand at their own children's school. Then the same poll asked schools' biggest problems. If you were thinking the lack of financial support, you would be correct. When becoming a teacher and faced with students' parents, take the initiative and seize opportunities to meet students' parents, smile, be friendly and tactful and honest, and try to be like people that you like. Listen carefully to the parents and ask them for their concerns. Be patient with parents who are a bit difficult. They may be frustrated with their children and are taking it out on you. Remember that parents pay taxes that provide your salary. And observe and learn from other teachers who seem to have a good relationship with parents. Find a way to study and learn as much as you can about human relationships. Teachers come from varied backgrounds and a variety of perspectives. Some are Democrats, some are Republicans, some are Reformed, and other parties. Some belong to unions and others don't. Teachers hold a variety of religious views. It is difficult to generalize about educators in the United States. A profile of U.S. teachers: 3.2 million public school teachers, about 400,000 private school teachers, 932,000 college and university faculty members. More than 60% of the teachers work at elementary school level, about 411,000 administration and other types of educational professionals, 1.25 million teachers' aides and clerks and secretaries, and roughly 1 million education-related jobs. Many teachers make careers out of teaching. Unfortunately, some classroom teachers decide to leave the teaching profession. On page 8 of your book, in the figure 1.1, beginning teacher retention rates. After year 1, 92% of beginning teachers stay, and after that, 94% of the beginning teachers are in high poverty schools who stay in teaching. Teachers leave the classroom for a number of reasons, such as raise children, obtain advanced degrees, pursue other careers, escape poor working conditions and student behavior, and lack of administration support. Supply and demand. The supply and demand of new teachers in a given year consists primarily of two groups: new teachers generated and former teacher graduates. Not all college graduates who prepare to teach actually begin teaching right after graduation. Only about half the college graduates who have completed teaching education programs actually take teaching positions in the first few years of graduation. Some get married, some start families, some go on and graduate school, some enter another profession, and some enter family businesses, and some don't find teaching positions in their local area, so they don't want to teach. New teachers are not recent college graduates. They can be typically people who are changing careers or retirees for, say, a business or military. These older new teachers with years of experience often have completed alternative pathways into teaching, so they can through school-based graduate programs that build on their prior experiences. Returning teachers. A number of licensed teachers drop out of the profession for a time but return later in life, about 20% of new hires each year. Teacher demand. One of the major factors related to the demand for teachers is the number of school children, which can be projected into the future on the basis of birth rates. The variety of factors, including increases in student enrollment and somewhat lower numbers of new teacher certification graduates, are likely to result in increasing the need for teachers over the next decade. Also, which increases the demand, the retiring of older teachers. Which another teaching demand, which is the lowering of student to teacher ratios by even one student, creates a demand for many more teachers. Statewide incentives to reduce the ratio have an even greater impact on the number of teachers needed. South Dakota's is 12-to-1 student to teacher ratio. There is a shortage of school funds that limits the number of teachers schools can afford to hire. It is perhaps a bit ironic that our citizens generally say that they highly value education, but many of them seem to be reluctant to fully fund our schools, an educational problem that has existed for a long time in our society. The skills that most educationists possess: helping people, human relationship skills, communication skills, understanding people, developing effective learning materials, motivating people, are the very skills needed to be successful in a wide variety of jobs. Are the very talents most higher officials are seeking, and are the skills needed to be successful in successful entrepreneurships and developing your own businesses. Many schools report the high need of special education teachers, especially in certain areas. A couple of reasons would be the amount of paperwork that you have to do when you're a special education teacher, and working with students with high needs. They could be from the low end of high needs or the extreme high of high needs. There's also a shortage of bilingual teachers, especially in certain geographic areas. The need for bilingual teachers is no longer limited to just large urban areas and just to the southwest of the United States. More people are moving to the north and to the coast. The projected demographics for the country indicate a growing need of students with limited English skills, requiring more bilingual and English as a second language teachers. In secondary schools nationwide and worldwide, there is a high need for highly qualified mathematics and science teachers, because for secondary you are broken down. You're a math teacher, you're a science teacher, you have to actually go to school for those areas. Some states have opened it up. If you take the praxis test and you pass it, you can teach those areas as a highly qualified student. So I do recommend, like South Dakota, you can take those tests if you're a secondary teacher. If you pass it, you're able to teach those classes.